Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Fluently Podcast. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica. Today, we're diving into a question that so many of you have asked us.
What's the best way to learn English? And remember, vocabulary words and definitions awaits you at the end of our podcast. Erica, good to see you here at the library. What are you working on?
Mark. Oh, I'm just researching some effective strategies for learning English. I'm supposed to give a presentation about it for our English club tomorrow.
Really? That sounds interesting. What's your opinion on the best way to learn English?
Well, to be honest, I've been reading a lot about different methods, and it seems there isn't just one perfect way. Everyone has their own preferences and ways of learning, but I think practice is key.
Absolutely. I also think consistent practice is vital. But what exactly do you mean by practice?
For me, practicing involves using English actively every day. Speaking, listening, reading, and writing. If I regularly do these 4 things, I feel my skills improve faster.
That makes sense. Which of those 4 areas do you find most helpful?
I think speaking and listening have helped me the most. When I started speaking English daily with friends, or even by myself, my confidence grew dramatically. Listening to podcasts or watching films in English has improved my comprehension as well.
That's interesting. I usually read books and articles to expand my vocabulary and grammar knowledge, but I've noticed my speaking skills haven't improved as quickly as I'd hoped.
That's a common problem. I've read that one of the best ways to improve speaking is simply to talk more. Even if you're making mistakes, mistakes actually help you learn faster because your brain remembers corrections better.
You're right. Sometimes I'm afraid of making mistakes when speaking, especially in front of other people. How do you overcome that fear?
Honestly, Mark, everyone makes mistakes. Native speakers make mistakes too. Reminding myself of that helps reduce anxiety. Also, practicing conversations with friends who won't judge has helped me become more comfortable.
Good advice. Maybe I should practice speaking more regularly. Do you think speaking with native speakers is better than talking with other learners?
Ideally, yes. Native speakers naturally use authentic vocabulary and expressions, which can accelerate your learning. But conversations with other learners can also be incredibly beneficial because you practice expressing your ideas clearly and you can help each other correct mistakes.
That's true. I never thought about it that way. And what about listening? You mentioned podcasts earlier. Are they really helpful?
Definitely. Podcasts are excellent because you can listen to real conversations and learn everyday vocabulary. I usually choose podcasts designed specifically for language learners, but lately I've been trying regular podcasts too, even though they're more challenging.
Can you recommend any podcasts?
Sure. 6 Minute English by the BBC is fantastic for learners because each episode focuses on useful vocabulary and expressions. Another great one is All Ears English, where hosts discuss everyday topics and American idioms.
Thanks, Erica. I'll give those a try. How about reading? Do you read English books regularly?
I do. Reading has boosted my vocabulary and grammar significantly. At first, I struggled because I chose books that were too difficult. Then I realized I should pick materials matching my current level. So I started with graded readers, short stories, or simplified novels, which really improved my understanding.
I see. I usually try to read news articles, but sometimes the language is complicated. Do you have any recommendations for easier reading materials?
Graded readers are perfect. Oxford Bookworms or Penguin Readers series offer great simplified classics. These books come in different difficulty levels, so you can slowly increase the challenge as you progress.
That sounds perfect for me. I'll look for some graded readers this weekend. How about vocabulary building? What techniques have you used to remember new words effectively?
Flashcards have always worked for me. I use digital apps like Anki or Quizlet where I can review vocabulary daily. Spaced repetition helps me retain words long term.
What exactly is spaced repetition?
Spaced repetition is a method of reviewing vocabulary at gradually increasing intervals. For example, you review a new word today, then tomorrow, then after a few days, and gradually longer intervals. This helps your brain move the vocabulary into long-term memory.
Oh, I didn't know that. That sounds much better than trying to memorize a long list all at once.
Exactly. Another trick is to always use new vocabulary in sentences immediately. If you can create sentences or even stories using new words, you remember them much better.
I'll definitely start using that technique. And what about writing? Do you practice it regularly?
Yes, I try to write something in English every day. It doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's just a short diary entry, a social media post, or even comments online. Writing regularly helps improve your grammar, spelling, and sentence structure significantly.
I sometimes find writing challenging because I don't know if I'm making grammatical errors. How do you check or correct your writing?
There are excellent free grammar checking tools like Grammarly or Hemingway Editor. These apps can help identify basic errors and suggest corrections. I also often share my writing with a friend or teacher for feedback. Peer feedback is extremely valuable.
Good point. I'll try to use those resources too. Do you think it's useful to attend formal classes, or is it enough to learn independently?
Classes definitely have advantages. A good teacher can guide you, provide structured lessons, and correct mistakes quickly. They also offer speaking practice and motivation, but self-study is equally essential because classes alone aren't enough if you don't practice independently.
So, combining classes with independent study seems to be the best approach?
Exactly. Many successful learners combine both. Classes give you a foundation and structured environment, while independent practice helps you internalize and apply what you've learned in real-life situations.
I agree. Another question. Do you think watching movies or TV shows is a good way to learn English?
Definitely. Movies and shows expose you to authentic dialogues, idiomatic expressions, accents, and cultural contexts. But to really benefit, you should watch actively, not passively.
What do you mean by actively watching?
Actively watching means taking notes of new words or expressions, pausing to understand challenging dialogues, and repeating scenes aloud to practice pronunciation. You can also use subtitles to assist comprehension at first, then gradually try watching without subtitles.
Oh, that's great advice. Sometimes I watch English movies with subtitles in my own language, but maybe using English subtitles instead would help me more?
Yes, absolutely. English subtitles help reinforce your listening comprehension and spelling. Once you're comfortable, turn off subtitles altogether.
I'll try that next time. Overall, Erica, based on everything we've discussed, what would you summarize as the key factors for learning English successfully?
Great question, Mark. I'd say the keys are regular practice, balanced skill development, speaking, listening, reading, writing, active learning, patience, and combining formal instruction with independent self-study. And don't forget, enjoying the process makes learning more effective and sustainable.
Perfect summary. I feel like I've learned a lot from our conversation. Your English Club presentation is going to be fantastic.
Thanks, Mark. I'm glad we talked about this. Now I have even more great ideas to include.
Good luck with your presentation tomorrow.
Thank you. And good luck with your new learning strategies, too. Let's catch up again soon to share our progress.
I'd love that. See you later, Erica.
Vocabulary words.
Strategy, a careful plan or method for achieving a particular goal. Preference, liking one thing more than another. A choice or priority. Consistent, regular, and steady, not changing frequently. Comprehension, the ability to understand something clearly. Expand, to increase in size, amount, or number. To make something larger or broader. confidence, belief in yourself and your abilities. Anxiety, a feeling of nervousness, worry, or fear about something. Accelerate, to make something happen more quickly. Authentic, genuine, real, or true, not fake or copied. Beneficial, helpful, useful, or good for something or someone. Podcast, a digital audio show available online for streaming or download. Vocabulary, a collection or list of words and their meanings used by a person or in a language. Graded readers, books simplified specifically for learners of a language, arranged by difficulty level. Flashcards, cards used as a learning tool, typically with a word or picture on one side and its meaning on the other. Spaced repetition, a learning method where information is reviewed repeatedly at gradually increasing intervals to help long-term memorization. Retain, to keep or continue to have something, especially knowledge or information. Feedback, information given about the quality or correctness of someone's work, performance, or actions. Formal, officially structured, following rules or conventions, usually in an educational context. Foundation, basic or essential knowledge upon which further learning is built. Independent, not relying on others, able to do things alone or without help. Idiom, a common phrase or expression whose meaning cannot be understood from the literal meaning of its words. Actively engaging in something with effort, attention, or deliberate participation. Pronunciation, the way words or letters sound when spoken. Subtitle, text displayed at the bottom of a movie or TV screen, translating or transcribing dialogue. Sustainable, able to continue or be maintained over a long period of time.